Hi guys, it's Nancy, and we're going to talk about organizing. You guys are always asking about organizing, and particularly we're going to talk about swatching out your inks. So, we're going to be using Catherine Pooler products, and I have new products to show you guys, so stay tuned. So, the first one is, I want you guys to know that not only can you download the color wheel from free, from Catherine Pooler's website, but you can also download the ink swatch chart. The ink swatch chart is labeled by color families, and then you stamp out your ink colors, all right? So you can see I've already started with the foundations here, and this works whether you have the minis or you have the full-size ink pads. If you buy in collections or you buy individually, this is a great way to not only organize what you have, but know what you have re-inkers for. Maybe you need to purchase re-inkers and so on. So we have some new products from Catherine Pooler, and this one is called the Color Swatch Stamp Set. And on the Color Swatch Stamp Set, you're going to get these larger rectangles, these smaller squares, oval, floral, some solid square, circle, heart, star, and then the names to match what's on your color wheel, whether it's a monochromatic, analogous, complementary, triad, tetrad, secondary, and so on. So when you're doing something on the color wheel, or if you find a color combination you like, you can stamp that out. So I have the star here, and I just wanted to show you, I did print this on Catherine Pooler paper, because another thing that swatching helps you with is knowing what the color is going to look like when you actually stamp it on your project. So if you stamp this on watercolor paper, and then you go to your project to make your project, it's going to look different on your project than it is on how you swatch it. So you want to print this out on some of your Catherine Pooler paper, or whatever paper you normally create your projects on. For me, normally when I'm doing Catherine Pooler products, I'm using Catherine Pooler paper. But you can see how easy this is for me to go through, pick up the colors that I want, and swatch them out. Now I've chosen the star here, but you can do the star, you can do the oval, you can do the little flower, whatever you want to do. Now let's say you need to swatch out which colors you have re-inkers for. I know sometimes we buy colors, we're not so sure if we're going to like it or not, so we don't buy the re-inker. Maybe we buy them in collections and we do buy the re-inker. So here I've swatched out all of the Life of the Party collection. They look great in the stars. Everything looks nice and uniform. But I know there's a couple that I don't have re-inkers for. Well, this is called the Family Collection Stamp Set. And the Family Collection is going to give you the names of the actual families. So in this case, we have foundations, we have Life of the Party. Hey, look, here's foundations, here's Life of the Party. But also there's an open star and an open square here. So now I can go through and say, okay, I have these couple of colors here. So I'm going to swatch this out. So I have party dress. This is great if you're someone who double buys a lot, you don't know what you have. Maybe you just need inspiration when you're stamping. Sometimes just sitting down and swatching things out can smooth out, your organization, and you're just calm yourself and let your creativity come out. Seeing certain colors maybe helps you. So now I know, okay, I have these ink colors. I know that I want to get re-inkers for them, but I need to order them, when they come back in stock, or I need to order them when there's a sale, or I need to just order them when I'm out, whatever it is. You have the Family Collection here, which has that open star. And again, it has all the names of them, including the brand new Apothecary, the grays, the browns. It tells you if it's a party collection. Is it a neutral? Is it a spa? Inks. Okay. So now I buy the re-inkers, and I need to fill in that little star. I'm going to go back to, it was the square I was using before. Whoops. Well, you'd go in and fill that star in. I was using this square when I was doing my samples, not the star. So this, on these two collections, you have that open square and you have the solid square. So what I was doing was stamping the open square, and once I got the re-inker, I was stamping the solid square, and I'll show you that. And that's just from these two stamp sets. Now maybe you're a little more organized and you want the actual names of the ink pad. So you want to stamp them out on labels, and I know a lot of people do this. Well, Catherine Pooler sells the ink labels. So what you do is they come in a strip like this. You cut them down and you can fit them on your ink pad. So here I have terracotta, ginger, and apricot, and when they're stacked, I don't need to see the full name. I just need to see what color it is without having to unstack it. So depending on if you store in an Organize More or a Stamp and Store system, maybe you put your label on this side instead of on the front. That makes it a little easier when you're grabbing your ink pads. But not only are they organized like this, but I can also organize my re-inkers by knowing that all of my re-inkers for the Apothecary collection are in this bag, and it's labeled Apothecary collection. So that comes off the top of this. I cut that off and put that on there. So none of this goes to waste. So that's nice. Now what happens if I'm going to a stamp show and I want to know what color inks I have? Well, we have these brand new ink Swatch Tag Dies, and you get two little ovals here, and this one has the little ring on it. So you can attach a little ring here, and if I'm creating something, I can stamp out apricot with my oval stamp from the swatch set, and then I can stamp that out on there, and I can cut it out if I want to cut it out, and then I can stamp the name on here. Well, where did the name come from? Well, you know, Catherine Pooler thinks of everything. She has a spa collection and a party collection of the inks, and the brand new Apothecary inks are on here. So you have terracotta, apricot, ginger, matcha, wintergreen, crushed violet, lilac, and whipped honey. So here are the brand new Apothecary inks. I stamped it out in apricot with the large oval stamp here, and then stamped the name on it. And then on the back side, hey, there's that open star. I don't have the refill for that because I know that it's an open star. Here's Cumberbund. Now in Cumberbund, I stamped on the back, this is a Catherine Pooler ink. How many of you use multiple ink companies when you're doing, say, layered stamping? I know that I do. I can stamp out my favorite color combinations and know that that's a CP ink when I stamp it next to it. And here's what I was talking about, filling in that square. I leave the square open when I'm stamping it out, when I don't have the refill, like I showed on this apricot one. And then when I get the refill, I can fill that star or fill that square in. Another way you can do it is just by using some of those smaller stamps. So here is the terracotta, and I just stamp the name terracotta over the star, and so on. So that's a nice way if you're creating something and you don't know which color combinations are going to look good. Maybe you hold this up against your project and you say, is this going to go well with crushed violet or lilac? You know, you can compare them side by side. Another option you have is if you have the tag dies. The tag dies have 4 different size tags on here. And again, they have that little cut out there. So I've cut a couple of tags out. And again, use Catherine Pooler paper so that when I look at these, it's true to form, true to color, I should say, of what that's going to look like. So if I'm going shopping, I would have a couple of these swatches. I'd have one that I take with me and put next to the computer for when I'm doing online shopping. I'd have one that I keep on the desk. So a couple different options here. Again, you can put these all together on a nice little ring. Here is my favorite color combination. I like using the party date night collections, but I use these 3 colors all the time. Pucker Up, Catching Rays, Cumberbund. Here I can stamp those 3 colors out, layer them, and know what they look like when they're layered. I want to know what they look like when I ink blend them. Here I ink blended them and I have a sample of that. Maybe I just want to know what the name of the ink is in a solid, and again I can push this side of the tag up to whatever I'm creating and saying, does this match? So I know this is the foundations, it's part of the party collection, it's a solid color, looks here, here's what it looks like when it's stamped in sentiments, and here this tells me whether I have a re-inker or not. I would color that in when I have a re-inker. Here's the whole collection. I wanted to know what collection comes together. I have the whole Party Foundations collection. Rockin' Red, Orange Twist, Grass Skirt, Fiesta Blue. And again, you can see here, these 3 colors indicate that I have a re-inker, and this open one indicates that I don't. So a number of different ways that you can use this new collection, not only to swatch out your inks, which will help you see the true color of what you're creating with, but also help you organize. And a lot of you guys ask, how do I organize? How do I know what I have and so I don't buy 2 or 3 of them? So a couple of different ways here. I would definitely recommend the ink labels, number 1. That's going to help you out. Download the ink swatch chart. That is 100% free on Catherine Pooler's website. I'll put the link down below for you guys. This will help you when you are at home and you're doing your organization of knowing what you have. And number 3, look into some of these new products for swatching out. Choose what system's going to work best for you. There's going to be a couple videos for you guys to go back and check on the hop, but we have the Party Collection, and it has all of the names of the Party Collection and the small little swatch oval there. You have the Spa Collection, and again it says Spa Collection. It has a little heart and the CP symbol for that one. You have the Swatch Stamps, so these have all the different swatches and how they coordinate on the color wheel. You have the families, so this tells you if you have foundations, life of the party. For you guys that organize through using a label system, you can stamp this out on your label system as well. And then the 2 dies that I used were the tag dies, layered tag dies, and ink swatch dies. So all of these are brand new over at Catherine Pooler for swatching, helping you guys organize. I want to know in the comments how you guys organize. Do you use ink swatches? Do you use a tag swatch system? Do you have a small swatch system like this? Maybe you don't swatch at all. Maybe you just use the ink swatch chart. Let me know in the comments which way you guys like to do that. I'm just curious. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out the hop for all of the other ideas for you guys. Thanks for watching and keep on stamping. Bye.